Hi, I'm Brett Middleton and we're at the MRT Forester Rally here in Busselton, Western Australia for the 2012 Australian Rally Championship. And behind me is our turbo diesel Subaru Forester, and obviously over to my left is the Maximum Motorsport turbo petrol Subaru Forester. Now the difference between these two cars is our car is eligible for the East Coast Bull Bars SUV Rally Challenge, but unfortunately the Maximum Motorsport car isn't, because turbo petrol cars in the SUV series would be obviously almost an outright contender in the four-wheel drive championship, way too quick. So to make it a fairly level playing field, the only cars that are eligible are turbo diesel, normally aspirated diesel, or obviously a normally aspirated petrol. The big advantage that we've got running our cars is obviously it's a very low cost vehicle. We obviously don't use a lot of diesel because of the fuel economy advantages, but also the drivability of this car is obviously a hell of a lot different to competing in a turbo petrol type vehicle in the outright category in the four-wheel drive championship. The big thing with this car obviously has over 400 Newton meters of torque. The turbo petrol car factory standard has 350. In actual fact, coming from the factory, both of them are very similar, but of course the turbo petrol car's got a lot more scope to wind up the boost, generate a lot more grunt. And in fact, this vehicle we used in reconnaissance for our notes, and I had a lot of fun driving it because obviously it's got a lot of grunt. From our point of view, competing in the championship, this car we obviously got maximum points at the ECB Rally Calder event last month. Fantastic fun to drive because it's just so different. From my point of view as a driver, it's a real challenge to adjust my driving style because it's got maximum torque at 2100 RPM and it's all over at 3800 RPM. Turbo petrol cars like this one here, or the outright cars, come on boost around 2500 RPM, pull big grunt all the way to 5, 6, 7,000 RPM, and you just keep feeding them gears. This car's got a 6-speed transmission. This car's got a 5-speed transmission. Reason being is the torque window of driving the car is so narrow, I have to change gears really, really quick. From a suspension and a setup point of view, both cars are very, very similar. Our car's got MCA suspension with McPherson strut front end, lateral links rear end. The Safari car Rod Herridge, as you'll see, is actually sitting a lot higher, but also obviously the suspension layout is obviously identical because the platforms of both cars are identical, but from the outside you can't pick the difference. So there you have it. If you're looking at competing in the SUV championship, it's a great opportunity to come and get involved in the sport. There's a whole heap of cars available out there that are eligible, and there's still a lot more of the championship yet to come. But I'm really looking forward to getting out in the forest tomorrow at Nannup on the gravel stages to give our car a really good run on the famous ball bearing roads here in WA.